Welcome again, English 2 students. This is your academic word for today. Today's word you have it in red here, and it's adequate. Let's go over your flashcard. By the way, if you have not noticed, this is a visual of your flashcard, as you should see it either online or on the papers printed out to you on Fridays. Okay. Today's word is adequate. Adequate. How many syllables in adequate? We got 3 syllables in adequate. 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 Once more, adequate. Pronounce with me. Okay, let's go together. Adequate. Adequate. Now your turn. By yourself. Got it? Good. That's great. So the accent is placed on the first syllable. Adequate. Adequate. Which syllable is the accent placed? First one. You got it. In Spanish, it's adecuado. What part of speech are we using adequate? It's an adjective. Great job. Note, in English, adequate means enough or good enough. It does not mean appropriate. It doesn't replace appropriate. It's not a synonym for appropriate. It's a synonym for enough or good enough. Let's go over the familiar words. We got adequacy if it's positive, or inadequacy if it's not there. The in means that it's not adequate enough. In means not in this case. This one is used as a noun. Adequately means that it's adequate versus inadequately, not adequately. Ly at the end makes it into an adverb. This is an adverb. Inadequate, just as an adjective. Have adequate, pretty much the opposite would be inadequate. Synonyms, we have satisfactory, enough. Satisfactory, enough. Okay, you can see here enough is part of the definition. Enough or good enough. It's satisfactory, that's good enough, that satisfies. Okay. His result was adequate, his result was satisfactory, it was good enough. Antonyms, opposite words, means unacceptable or unsatisfactory. The prefix un makes it negative, right? Not acceptable, not satisfactory. We don't say not, but we say unacceptable, unsatisfactory. Let's go over the definition. Adequate, used as an adjective, means enough in quantity, amount, quantity, or good enough in quality for a particular purpose or need. So we have quantity or quality. In Richard Wright's autobiographical Black Boy, he was an African American. Richard Wright was an African American writer. In his autobiographical Black Boy, Wright described growing up without basic necessities, such as food and adequate housing. Okay. In this case, adequate housing is referring not to quantity, but for the quality. Okay. They had, growing without the basic necessities, so they had inadequate necessities, inadequate food. Okay, if you're talking about quantity, they didn't have the basic necessities, right? So their necessities, they were inadequate necessities, such as food and adequate housing. Okay. The housing was not adequate, meaning it was of low quality. The quality of the house was not good enough. As you see in the picture here, it's not a good quality, good enough quality. Okay, so the housing was inadequate. But in this case, growing up without, here we have the negative, that makes it already adequate. Without, it's already negative. That's why we don't use inadequate housing, because we already have the negative form of the sentence back here. He grew up without adequate housing. So the quality of the house was not there. It just wasn't good enough. They were poor. Right? Not enough needs and not good enough housing. Okay, notice that we not use it as appropriate, but as enough or good enough. Alright, English 2 students, go ahead and complete your flashcard. Write your own original sentence at the bottom of your flashcard. Include a visual, okay, an adequate visual, a good enough quality visual, and copy the sentence of the day that you can find on the whiteboard, and enjoy your time studying. Don't forget to study.